Welcome back to Special Friends Podcast. My name is Mary Santora.
I'm Sara.
And we're catching up this week, man.
Catching up.
You know what I was thinking about? We have not really talked outside of the podcast for a month.
Yeah.
I left. Hold on, let me fix this real quick. I left for Alaska on March 29th.
Yeah.
And today's April 22nd. And really, the only communication we've had, you guys are also hearing.
Yeah.
Like, outside of, like, are the cats good? Or, hey, I got a package delivered. Like, 90% of our conversations have just been the podcast the last 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Which feels weird.
Yeah. And it's like, when I get home, I'm like, oh, I don't want to, like, say too much because I want us to be able to talk about it on the podcast. But also, I'm like, I miss you.
Dude, I was thinking about that today. Because I was, like, on my walk. You were at work. And so, like, I went and dropped my laundry off, and I went for, like, a long walk, and then I was like, I should go to Costco. And I thought about calling a friend of mine just to see if they wanted to go to Costco, because I was like, I haven't had anybody just to, like, hang out with for a month, because we've both been gone.
That friend is so important, and I've always had a friend like that in my life, and, you know, eventually, like, it becomes, like, your significant other, but it's, like, your friend that'll just run errands with you.
Yeah.
Like, just, like, your errand friend.
Just
and
to be around.
I've had that friend in my life where it's, like, do you want to go to the mall with me? Or do you want to, you know, go to Costco with me? Or, like, run to the bank with me real quick?
It's like, yeah, hey, I have to fold this laundry. Do you want to come over and sit on my bed?
Yes.
And they're like, yeah, why not? Like, that's a very important friend to have.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Because that's a friend that, like, you don't really need to do anything.
No.
You don't really have to be doing anything together. And most of the time, it's not even a lot of talking. You're just, like, kind of hanging out. When I'm home, my younger sister is like that.
Yeah.
Where I'll call her and be like, hey, what are you doing today? And she'll be like, I'm about to grab lunch, and then I'm going here, and then I'm going there, and then I pick the girls up from school. Why, you want to come? I'm like, yeah, I got nothing to do.
Yeah.
Just hang out.
No, I've always had that friend. Even when I do have a significant other, I also still have that friend.
Yeah.
It's just like, well, it's whatever. Just come over.
Yeah.
Come sit with me.
Yeah, just sit by me for a little while.
Sit in the silence with me.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I haven't really had that. And you've just been here all alone.
I've been here alone for like 2 full weeks. Sarah's been gone. The cats have been just miserable. Everybody. No, Dutch loves it when you're not here. And I'm telling you, she hates Chloe so much that sometimes she'll come into the room when we have baby gates on both of our doors, right? Mm-hmm. So Dutch will come in the living room just to see if Chloe's behind the gate. She'll smack her a couple times and then go back into the bedroom.
She doesn't even want to come in the living room.
She doesn't even want to come in the living room. She just wants to make sure Chloe's locked up. Like, that's it. She has so much pleasure of making sure that cat is behind bars.
Yeah. And Chloe doesn't even want to come out, I guess. You said that,
No,
right?
so she's been missing you, dude. Where, like, I'll open it, and normally she's so ready to get out. Like, because she'll stay in the bedroom overnight. And 6 a.m., she's screaming at the door ready to get out. But, like, I'd wake up in the morning, and I'd open her gate, and she would, like, come out, do a lap, like, kind of look around. I think she would notice you weren't here, and then she would just go back in the bedroom and either lay on your bed or lay under the bed, or sometimes she would get up on the tower, but...
It's so crazy, because then I get back, and she's like,
I wish you wouldn't have. It's ridiculous, dude.
I was telling you, like, the only thing she does that shows any type of affection is just stands on my chest. And that's it. When I'm laying down. She doesn't cuddle me. She doesn't want to be a pet. She doesn't want anything. She just wants both of her paws directly on my chest.
Sternum. And people who don't have cats don't realize how heavy that is.
Yeah.
And there's no reason for it to be heavy. Mm-mm. It's like, why are your 2 little paws filled with cement? Why does it feel like this is a 700-pound marble that you sat? And your cat probably weighs 10 pounds, maybe.
But why do you have dumbbells for paws right now?
And why are they both in the middle of my chest plate?
I don't. That's like a very cat thing.
It's such a cat thing.
To put both paws right on your chest.
And just stand there.
Yeah.
Not making biscuits, not saying hi, just stand there and stare at your face.
Yeah. And then get their whiskers, like, in your nose and your eyes. And just like, so...
Truly wild.
Yes, but I've been busy in good ways and bad ways, but before I feel like I was back for like a day and a half after Coachella.
You got back on a Wednesday and you left on a Friday. Yeah.
So I was back for a day and a half, and then I had this really cool audition that I'm actually really excited about it, but it was the most a New York experience I've ever experienced in my life. Because it's for like a very big brand, and I'm not allowed to say the brand, but it's like a high-end fashion brand. And
Move over,
which is like
Sara.
it's so funny because like
Forever 21.
Comedian.
Ever heard of it?
Yeah. It's like, I have no idea. It was for like a stand-up comedian was the casting call, but that's not really what it is. It's like I'm pretending to be a stand-up comedian.
They like write the jokes for you.
Yeah, they wrote the jokes for me. Yeah.
About a high-end fashion product.
Yes. But it's not really about the product at all.
What's it about?
It's kind of just like they wrote it. It's the jokes aren't horrible, to be honest. It's nothing that I would ever say, but they're just kind of like dark, and anyone could really say them.
Okay.
But it's kind of like an interactive fashion show, but I'm the stand-up comedian for it. I can't say that much. Okay.
I understand. I understand that you can't reveal a lot, but the first thing I thought when you're like, it's for a high-end like fashion brand and the jokes are really dark, I'm like, are they talking about all the kids who make their clothes? Like, are they like, isn't it hilarious? These 14-year-old fingers, I don't know, are so nimble. Like,
oh my God, this tag says help.
right, yeah.
That's so cool. We have to stop giving them pins.
There's a horror movie, and one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life. Brian, my boyfriend, is obsessed with horror movies, so I bought him a subscription to what is called Shudder, which is all horror movies. And so there's a horror movie called Slacks. Have I talked about this before with 2 X's?
No,
SLAXX, like pants, okay? So the premise of it is that this child in a third world country dies making designer jeans. And her soul gets trapped in the jeans. And then when the jeans
Those aren't even slacks, though. When
the jeans get sent to America, they're a killer pair of jeans. So the jeans go around strangling people and grabbing knives and stabbing people. So the serial killer is a pair of jeans that are possessed by a child laborer's soul.
Do the jeans only work when they're on people, or
no?
the jeans
like
walking
are an
around
entity.
by themselves?
Yes, the jeans are an entity. They like slide off of the table by themselves and like walk. And like tie themselves around the neck.
How do people keep ending up with the jeans?
It's one pair of jeans, but so it's set as like if you've ever worked in a mall or a retail store, they do what are called floor sets, where like for spring to summer, you have to redo the way the entire store looks, the entire inside of the store. So the staff is there for a floor set. So there's like 10 people in there overnight to redo the store, and the jeans
pants just let loose.
Start killing off people one at a time.
Oh, so this is all set in one location.
It's all in the store, yeah.
Oh, these jeans aren't mobile.
No. It's happening in the retail store.
No,
it's probably some type of an allegory for consumerism.
That's not the jokes that they wrote.
That's not what they wrote.
For me. No. It's very general. You know, it's like, oh, my friend's pregnant, and you know, just like it's very general millennial humor. The jokes aren't horrible. It's just
my friend's pregnant and she can't afford to keep it. Like she can't afford this bag. Am I right?
No.
Am I right?
It has nothing to do with the fashion brand.
Oh.
It's
in this economy.
Okay,
don't put your eggs in a basket. Put them in this purse. Put them in our day-to-night satchel. Anyway, go ahead.
You can't afford them. You can't
afford
the satchel or the eggs.
No,
or the basket.
See.
Right.
But
so
you go into this interview.
Yeah, and it's so funny because it's like I walk past a car lot and it's just like keep walking until I'm in like a part of New York like that's in Manhattan, but also I'm like kind of sketchy. Mm-hmm. Like I'm like, oh, okay. So then I just get to a door and it said that I needed to put a code in, and it just says, okay, it's not Gucci, but it just says written with a piece of pen and paper, Gucci. On the doorbell. And I'm like, there's no way.
I'm gonna get killed.
I was like, murdered. I sent a self-tape into some random guy. He wants to wear my skin. Yeah. And I am about to walk up into his apartment and
Yeah.
he's going to kill me
Right.
and Mary won't share her location with me. So
My location has been shared since Alaska. I almost turned it off when I got home, and I didn't. It is still shared. You keep acting like this, I'm going to take away privileges.
You know, one day it wasn't showing up, but it's just because my phone wasn't, I didn't have service. And I was trying to see where you were at because, it's the day that you were going to the stand for the birthday party for, and I was trying to see if you were already on your way. And it wouldn't show me. And I was like, that bitch, she unshared it with me. She shut it off. But I didn't have service.
So you go up the Gucci stairs.
So yes, I go up these like rickety ass stairs. And at this point, I'm like, all right, whatever. I die here in New York. I did it. This is what I came here for. And I get up there, and there's just one girl sitting at the desk, and I was like, I'm here for an audition. And she was like, okay, what's your name? So I told her my name. She was like, has one sheet of paper.
Singular
like,
sheet of paper.
There's no computer on the desk. Nothing.
No clipboard.
Nothing.
Just a loose sheet of paper.
It's just like a loose sheet of paper stapled together. I'm not even sure if it was stapled. It may have been taped together. 3 pieces of paper, and she's just like, oh, okay, all right, they're through there. And all of a sudden, I turn around, and I go up to the second floor on this random elevator. So I have to walk upstairs to get up there. But once you get up there, there's an elevator.
Okay.
And then I just walk into the most gorgeous places I've ever seen in my life.
Dude, that's New York.
Like,
where they just have to find a studio space. It doesn't matter where it is. It's cheap. We need to run auditions out of here and test out maybe a couple, do a catwalk. It needs to be long enough for you to walk 10 feet.
Yeah. But it's like the building itself, once you got in there, it was gorgeous. It was all like floor to ceiling glass and windows and, all the tables and stuff they had set out were all pretty. And the water bottles were all like Voss water bottles and lunch was set out. Like everything was just gorgeous the minute I walked in there. And I was like, okay, why did I just like go through the trenches?
Why can't you afford to put a plaque outside?
Yeah, why was
or
there
a permanent marker? Why is it written in pen?
Why was there just a piece of paper that said blank auditions? And I'm like, okay.
That's crazy.
It didn't even say auditions. It just said the name.
Yeah.
So then it's like clearly these people they work for a brand that I would have no business being around if it wasn't for this one moment. Mm-hmm. And he just goes, so you're a professional stand-up comedian, I hear, huh? I was like, yeah, I guess. Like, yeah, I guess. And he goes, okay. All right, well, you memorized the lines. And I was like, yeah, I memorized it. He goes, okay. And they just stared at me the whole time.
They didn't laugh?
Finally, on the very last, I'm like, first off, you guys wrote these jokes.
Yeah, they're not my jokes.
This isn't like, but
impress me with the jokes I wrote. Yeah, that's crazy. That's wild energy.
I was like, I didn't write this. Like, this is you guys. I can't help it if you don't find it funny. This is you. Finally, on the last one, they like laughed, and he goes, that's good. Thank you.
There you go. Do you get to? It's just paid, or do you get to keep some of the product?
I don't know. I would really like if I got to keep some of the product, but sweet. I don't know.
That'd be really
I know
cool.
my aunt, who I was in Tennessee with over the weekend. She's she works for an interior design company. They do all the fabric for hospital lobbies.
Fabric.
I'm not kidding.
Like chair covers?
Yes, they supply all the fabric for hotel or for
there's
hospitals.
So many jobs, dude.
Isn't that crazy?
You don't think that. You're never sitting in a hospital lobby like, I wonder who makes these chairs.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And that's her whole job. And just the fabric part of it. She just sells the fabric to the furniture companies.
Specifically for hospitals. What is it? Is it like antimicrobial, or is it like puke resistant or something?
I don't know. I think they're just fabrics that get to be in hospitals. I don't know what's so special about
what makes a fabric hospital proof or
and
not.
It's just for the lobbies. It's not even for in the rooms.
Right, but if you're in an emergency room lobby and you poop all over the seat, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That can't be shag. Not that there's shag seats, but you get what I'm saying, like a super absorbent material.
Oh no. I wonder how many materials they had to go through in the hospital. Where they're like, yeah, that's not going to work.
Just go back to tile. Everybody sits on concrete. We're not doing this again. Get the hose,
No chairs. Everything's tile.
Yeah. Well,
but she was really excited about it. She was like, because very into fashion, much
Oh.
more than I am. And she was like, "Oh, this is just
That
so
would be
exciting."
amazing. How was Gatlinburg?
Gatlinburg, I think we've talked about Gatlinburg a little bit on here, but it is just the epitome of white trash vacation. I mean, the UK, and I felt it. I felt so good. I'm not going to lie, because I had to go see my dad in Cincinnati, and then I drove from Cincinnati to Gatlinburg. So when you're driving
5 hours?
Yeah, it's about 5 hours. And so Cincinnati is right on that Kentucky border already. And so I'm already like pretty southern. I'm like, oh, I'm home. But as soon as you hit that Tennessee line, it is like a different breed of people.
It is. It literally is.
And I'm like, I feel like you and I both, like, I mean, even though you're from northern Ohio, like, I'm still from like the southern part of the Midwest. This is different.
No,
like,
it's different.
And it's not the South, like Atlanta, the Carolinas, that kind of South. It is just like this,
It's
like,
hillbillies, dude.
pocket of people that, like, you cannot describe to anyone unless you've seen them. Like,
Well, I mean, I think the closest people get is like Duck Dynasty.
yeah.
That, like, to give like a mainstream view of it would be like something similar to that,
Yeah.
where it's just there's just not a lot of regard for the way they look or the way they sound, or there's not a lot of presentation, not a lot of GEDs, not a lot of not a lot of diplomas, not a lot of college graduates.
Yeah.
A lot of people getting married at 18 and having kids. You know what I mean? And you don't know any different because
But-
that's what everyone before you did.
They're so sweet because
Most
my
stupid
cousin,
people usually are.
Yeah, I mean, my cousin and I were talking about this though. Like, you can just tell the difference. She's like, I got off the plane in Knoxville, and everyone's just so sweet. Oh, hi, honey, can I get you anything? I stopped at a McDonald's. I got a sweet tea. She goes, you want that half and half or just regular? Okay, sweetie, you want it regular? That's all you need. Okay, all right, we'll just pull around. It's $1.26. Oh, don't worry about it. I got that penny, babe. You don't have to find me a penny. Just like the sweetest people. And then like Charlotte, which is still like the South, but like more of a city South. She's like, I got off the plane and somebody was just like, y'all can't say excuse me? And it's like the pocket of like that Tennessee South
Yeah.
is like they're just not angry. And I love that.
Well, I think you're also probably
they're-
noticing a lot more coming from New York.
Yeah.
Where everybody's in a hurry and everybody's pissed off and everybody's late and nobody has time for anything here. I mean, that's the big difference, is that they got nothing but time.
Oh, yeah.
They got nowhere to be. I'm at this job for the next 8 hours. I got
Yeah.
nowhere to be. Let's hang out. Let's talk about it. Whereas here, they're like, I'm at this job for the next fucking 8 hours. I got nowhere to be. You know what I mean? Like this, they're like pissed about it. They haven't accepted their fate.
Yeah.
Here in New
They're not
York.
mad at me. I mean, they're mad at people.
Yeah.
But they're not mad at me.
They're mad at existence.
Yeah. Yeah. They've got bigger problems.
Dude,
Like-
it's an existential crisis every day here. You don't get that in the South.
oh, no.
Where you're just hanging out. You're
Yeah.
looking at rolling hills. You're in the friggin' Smoky Mountains.
Oh, yeah. Like,
Come
it
on.
takes them probably just as long to get to work, but for a completely different reason. It's not because they're, like, stuck in traffic. It's because they're going up a mountain just to get
Yeah.
to their local McDonald's. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. It's just a different way of life.
yeah. But so in Gatlinburg, we always get a cabin every year. We used to like go into Gatlinburg, and if you've ever been there, it's basically like, I guess if you're an East Coaster, I would kind of compare it to the Jersey Shore a little
Yeah,
bit.
I mean, it's not a boardwalk, but it's any of those tourist trap towns where there's one main drag with kitschy shops on either side and a couple restaurants and, you know.
Everything there now, and this has just happened over the past like 6 years, everything is a moonshine tasting.
Yeah.
Because moonshine got really popular there. And like the moonshine it's not what your grandpa gave you. That like true
It's-
moonshine
right,
he
where
made in the
it
garage.
smells like nail polish remover.
Yeah.
It burns just as much. And they're like, it's apple cinnamon. And you're like, this is gasoline.
It's
Like,
gasoline and it has one
One
little piece
stick of cinnamon.
in it.
One
Yeah.
stick in the whole the whole barrel has one stick of cinnamon in it. And they're like, it gives it a sweetness. And you're like, I'm going to throw up.
Do you remember the first time you tried actual like moonshine?
I don't know about the first time, but the time that comes into my mind is I was playing a gig in Pennsylvania, and afterwards someone was like, "Hey, come out to my truck."
Oh, so you were an adult.
Yeah, I was
Oh,
probably
wow.
like 23 or 24.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Come out to my truck here's some moonshine. And it was like in a mason jar, a giant mason jar that we all just passed around and drank out of it. I'm like, this is the worst thing I've ever tasted in my
horrible.
life. But you have one gulp and you're like, my face is hot.
Yeah.
I'm already starting to feel drunk. Like, this is crazy.
The first time I had it, my one of my friends had a graduation party.
Okay.
And his grandpa made it, and he let us drink some of it at his graduation party. And same thing. I mean, also, I was like maybe 17 or 18.
Yeah.
And I remember like that first way. I mean, your face gets hot.
Immediately.
Your mouth is watering.
Your face gets hot.
You like start confessing your love for people within
It's almost
seconds
like when you drink it, you can feel it go down every part of your body.
Yeah.
And it feels like probably, did you ever watch that show Animorphs?
Yeah.
Where humans that's probably what it feels like.
Yeah.
Like you're becoming
like,
a raccoon. Yeah, and that's what drinking
I'm about
moonshine.
to ruin someone's night.
Like that's exactly what it feels like.
Truly.
So
Everything there is what?
Oh, go ahead.
Everything there is just a moonshine brewery or
Distillery.
a moonshine. Well, like I'm saying, like everything is turned into moonshine. It's not just distilleries. Everything's
Old
moonshine.
Smoky.
Old Smoky everything.
No, Old Smoky is the name of the moonshine
Yeah.
distillery that got that area famous.
Yes, correct.
Where you take them home with you, and they blackberry, blueberry, all kinds of different flavors and stuff.
And now they've got Old Smoky ciders, Old Smoky beers. So that's pretty much all it is now. That and arcades and escape rooms.
Brian and I went there. It's the first trip we ever took together was to Gatlinburg,
really?
Tennessee.
That's funny.
For no reason, which I didn't know. So we were together, a couple months. Maybe 3 months. This was like August of 2020.
Yeah.
And we started dating in like June. So we were like, oh, let's take a weekend trip somewhere. And I swear he suggested Gatlinburg because he had been there before.
Yeah.
That like his family rented cabins there and he had a history there. And from Cleveland, it's like a 7 or 8 hour drive.
Yeah.
Like it is not a short drive.
Right.
And we only went Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah.
We only went for 3 days. So we drive all the way down there. And it's like a really pretty drive where you're like driving through the mountains. And if it's summertime, you got the windows down. It's a great drive. But we didn't get there until like Friday night. So really we only had Saturday and Sunday. And then we drove back Monday morning.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of driving. And Brian had just quit smoking. Shit. 3 days before that.
Oh.
And we didn't know each other super well. This is like our first weekend away. We've been dating a couple months. So he was really irritable, but trying his best to hide it. But Brian does not, he can compartmentalize.
Especially on a long drive, because that's probably like.
When he would be smoking.
Yes.
So
when
the drive
I smoked
wasn't
cigarettes,
bad.
like it was a long drive where I hardly ever smoked them, but like a long drive, it's like.
Yeah.
Nothing better.
It wasn't until like the first full day, that Saturday, where like we went into the town and did some things. And I think it was that first full day, it downpoured. I mean, like out of nowhere. We were walking around and then just torrential downpours. And I'm having a great time. I'm thinking this is hilarious. How funny is it that we got stuck in the rain? And I'm like dancing around. We're getting splashed by cars. Brian was so mad. And he's trying not to be as mad as he was.
Because you guys didn't know each other that well.
We didn't know each other that well.
He didn't want you to know that his OCD was going fucking
His
insane.
OCD was off the charts.
He's wet.
He's wet. He
doesn't
had
have a
new
cigarette.
shoes on. He had just quit smoking.
Yeah.
Like, he's so fucking mad. He's so mad. And there's like a photo booth. So I was like, oh my God, come in the photo booth. It's like, we'll be safe from the rain in the photo booth and we'll take pictures. And I look back at it today and I'm like all smiles. I'm like, what a serendipitous moment for us to get I was truly having
What
the
a
best
love
time of my
story.
life. I really was having a great time.
Let's take pictures of this moment.
Yes.
And you're like.
Yeah. And Brian's like trying to smile, but his eyes are so dead. He's so fucking mad, dude. And I look back at, because even in there, I'm like, oh, you look silly. You're like, oh, I'm covered in rain. But like, if I knew him now, like if I knew him then how I know him now, it was all over his face. But we get back, and he wanted to get his daughter a souvenir that day, but obviously it was cut short because it's raining. We can't just keep walking around.
Yeah.
So we get back to the cabin. He's like, my shoes are fucking ruined. I just bought these and blah, 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 blah. So I put him in the dryer. I ordered him a new pair of shoes, whereas just it's fine. And because I didn't realize that when you have OCD, little things that go wrong are a big, big deal.
Yeah.
So then that night, or it was the next day or something, we went to go get food, and Brian loves Mexican food. And he was like, I was like, well, there's like it was like Burrito Loco or El Burro Loco or something like that.
Not on the strip, just like some random burrito place.
It's one Mexican place on the strip.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a second floor.
Yeah, I know exactly what
there's
you're
only
talking about.
one.
Oh, I know. I just
So,
was there.
I was like, well, this place is Mexican. You like that? Because
They have a rooftop patio.
yes, we sat on the rooftop patio. But real quick, complaint about my boyfriend specifically, maybe all vegetarians, I don't know. When you bitch about a restaurant not having anything for you to eat, and he does that a lot. Well, what can I eat there? I can't fucking eat anything here. I'm like, no one told you to be a vegetarian.
Yeah.
Like, you can't expect Gatlinburg, Tennessee to have a bunch of vegan and vegetarian options.
Yeah.
Like, look around you. This is where we are.
I was a vegetarian for 3 years, and I never remember it being a problem. Granted, I gained so much weight when I was a vegetarian though, because I just like, if there wasn't
mozzarella
something
sticks
on the menu that I could eat, mozzarella sticks, mashed potatoes. I would just eat like a plate of mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
And then get dessert, because I was like, oh, there's like nothing on here that I can really eat.
You can be so unhealthy in a vegetarian.
Oh,
being a vegetarian does
absolutely.
not mean you're healthy at all. Up until like 2 years ago, everything Brian ate came out of a bag.
Oh, yeah.
Where I was like, dude, you instead of getting the frozen broccoli, I mean, I get it, it's still broccoli, whatever, but he would get like a mixed bag of vegetables and eat that for dinner.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's not dinner. Like, that's crazy. So he was in a bad mood because
you find that, and I also will say with vegetarian, you find your spots that you like.
Yeah.
So it is kind of hard. Like,
but when you're on vacation, you don't know.
I went to France when I was a vegetarian, and that was so difficult. My uncle, he wanted, I could see how bad he was just like, just eat the fucking meat, Sarah.
I'm
Because
sure.
I was like, my uncle's also a really good cook. He enjoys culinary, like the culinary arts. We went to some really nice restaurants, and like, I'm trying to tell them like, oh, no meat. And I can see him. He's just like, just try the fucking escargot. Try that. I'm like, I think snail counts. He's like, it doesn't count.
Right.
It's
fucking bug.
That's
so
I ruined that vacation by being a vegetarian. So I get what you're saying.
So Brian's having a terrible trip. He's got like, his shoes are ruined. He got caught in the rain. He quit smoking. He didn't get a gift for Blake. So now he also doesn't like being rushed. So like having only one day to buy a gift. Whereas I'm very like, at the time she was 5.
She's not going to know. Just get it at the gas station on the way home.
Get her anything. She has no idea. She's a 5-year-old child. Get her any toy and tell her it's from Tennessee.
Yeah.
And so at the dinner, he was like, the food was bad. I will say that. It was not good food. But again, what type of Mexican food are you expecting in fucking Gatlinburg, Tennessee?
Right.
It's not gonna be good,
right.
you know? So he was pissed off that his meal wasn't good. So this is the first time that I'm seeing him ever show any signs of like being angry. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't understand it because I'm like, okay, so he had a bad meal. Like, but it didn't bother. It does those kind of things are like, whatever. What are you gonna do? There's another meal tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know, I do
We'll
love food, and if I'm paying a lot of money, I'll be really pissed off if the food's bad. But you know, whatever. And so he was just not having it like that whole time, and those were my first kind of little peeks into what it would actually be like to be with someone with OCD, and what it would what it actually means. Not like, oh, I have a color coordinated closet.
Well, and see, that's the problem with OCD and what people think OCD is.
Right.
Because so many people are like, no, I like keep all of my notepads organized by color, or like, oh, I can't.
My books are alphabetized.
Yeah.
Like, that's not OCD.
Oh, my socks have to match. I'm so OCD.
Right.
It's like, no. Like, it's like your socks have to match, or you're scared you're going to run your car off the street with your family and kill them all because you didn't put 2 matching socks on that day. Like,
it's a rumination where you get lost in these terrible thoughts over and over and over again. You worry about what might happen or what's supposed to happen. And if what's supposed to happen doesn't happen, it throws off your whole day because you didn't plan for what wasn't supposed to happen, you know? And so, it was a fine trip overall. But I remember being like, on the drive home, I was like, this is a long, like, why did we come here?
Yeah.
And he was like, I thought you wanted to come here. I was like, I would have never picked to go to Gatlinburg, Tennessee. And he was like, oh, I don't know how we got. I'm like, 90% sure you suggested
That's so
that we go
funny.
down here.
So you both are driving back and you're like, why are we here?
That was kind of exactly the vibe. Because the second day we went to a pool. There's like the cabin we were staying in. There was like a community pool.
Yeah.
We had access to. Those 2 days happened in succession. I don't remember which was which. But we went and just hung out by the pool and then like went out to dinner that night.
Yeah.
But that's the only time I've ever been to Gatlinburg. Oh, it was 2020. So it was, the election hadn't happened yet. The 2020 election, because this was August. So all the stores were anti-Joe Biden. All the little, instead of just like, I went to Gatlinburg and only got this dumb t-shirt. It was all Trump stuff. It was all MAGA. It was all like him as a bald eagle. Like it was all that.
Still. There's a Trump store.
Yeah.
There. It's just Trump. It's just
Trump
gear.
merch.
Yeah, just Trump merch. There's my favorite arcade, and it like holds so much nostalgia for me because I've been going there since I was like 5 years old. My grandma and I used to go to this arcade together, and now when you first walk in, it's one of those, you know, those like, it's like a genie that will read your fortune or whatever, but it's Trump.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, are you kidding me? And
the great Zoltar.
Yes.
Yeah. You like hold it and it tells you.
And then like you do it and it's like, I predict that I'm going to be the next president of 2025. And I'm like, oh my God. Take it down. He won. You guys can
right. We
get
don't
rid
gotta
of
do
this
all this.
thing now. It's so
crazy.
funny because my nephew, he's 9 years old. He's like a huge Trump supporter. And it's just like it's so funny because he's 9 years old.
He doesn't know what he's saying. He's just repeating what his parents say.
Yeah, he's just, and well, you know what's funny is my sister, which is his mom, who he lives with like 75% of the time, and then her mom, Kim, which isn't my mom, both very liberal, not Trump supporters.
But his dad.
And then my dad.
Yeah.
But they yell at him. His grandma Kim is like, don't talk about that in my house. But like his profile picture, he has a Facebook, which I think a 9-year-old with a Facebook is hilarious on its own.
It fits that a 9-year-old Trump supporter has a Facebook because my 9-year-old kid wants to be on TikTok. She wants to be on Roblox. She wants to be on Minecraft. She wants to be on those chat functions.
Yeah.
A 9-year-old Trump supporter is like, Facebook's where the truth is. Like, that's crazy, dude.
Yeah, he's like, none of my teachers are gonna find me on here. He has a Facebook. It's like a bald eagle. He's a 40-year-old man somehow trapped in a 9-year-old's body, and like he would come down, because we'd all go do things. Like we went to the casino, and he comes down. He's 9 years old, but it's like you're coming home to your old grandpa.
Yeah.
That like has just been sitting in the house. So we came back from the casino, and it's me and my 2 cousins that are around my age. And he goes, well, how'd you do? And he like is pouring himself milk.
Love this dude.
He's pouring himself milk. He goes, well, how'd you do? And then I forget what he said after that. He was like, well, you win some, you lose some.
I love
and then
kids
just
like
walks
that.
back upstairs, and I'm like, why did Grandpa just come down here?
Awesome, dude. Little kids like that kill me, man. They got no friends. They hang out with the lunch lady.
Yeah.
Dude, those kids.
Well, he doesn't go to school. He is homeschooled.
Oh, no. That's why he's a Trump supporter at 9.
Yeah. He's homeschooled and he doesn't go to school. He just kind of like, he wants to start a lawn mowing business. He's been putting the plans for this lawn mowing business together.
Hey, you can do that on a day's work. Maybe don't give up at 9. Maybe that's a little soon to be like, I'll just do manual labor.
No, it's all he's ever wanted to do. When he was like 3 years old, he was like, how can I buy a lawnmower? He would make us pull over.
That's crazy.
To look at lawnmowers. And then by the time he was 6, he was putting the plans together for like how he was going to start this lawn mowing business. And then we ordered pizza one night, and because we would tell him like, oh, like when you're taller, you can ride a lawnmower. You can start mowing lawns for people. Yeah. And he's like, I'm tall enough. If we get a small enough lawnmower, I can start mowing lawns for people. And we're like, no, you're not tall enough yet. Well, one time we order pizza. This little person delivers the pizza. He literally runs from the back of the house up to this freaking little person. It was like, how did you drive here?
Have you ever used a lawnmower? If so, what type? What color was it? What was the motor?
And we're like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. He's got this weird thing with driving. He really wants to. And the guy's like, no, it's totally cool. And he goes out and shows him that he has like these little sticks.
Yeah, blocks
that
and
like
stuff. Yeah.
makes it so he can drive. And so ever since then, he's like, we can figure this out.
That's so
I can start
funny.
my business soon.
Good for him.
So, he's
Nice little family vacation, huh?
yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
I was having a mental breakdown here.
You were?
Alone. Because you don't care anymore. You just gallivant across the country.
To Gatlinburg,
And leave me
Tennessee,
here to
and
die.
Cincinnati, Ohio.
Leave me here to die. I'm frankly tired of it. No, when I got back from vacation, I weighed the most I've ever weighed. I mean, including when I was like a blackout drunk. And what's really frustrating to me is that I feel like since like end of January, beginning of February, I've actually been trying to go to the gym. And I feel like you can vouch for that. That it wasn't consistent, I will say that. And it wasn't 5 days a week. But I would go, I don't think there was a week I went less than twice.
Yeah.
I was going at least twice a week, which I understand is not enough, whatever. But I felt like in my head, I was trying to make healthier choices. Mm-hmm. And I was trying to go to the gym and at least do something a couple times a week. So when we go to, and here's the thing, is that like you feel yourself gaining weight. It doesn't creep up, I think, as much as people say that it does.
No.
Like you feel it as it's happening because like, oh, your pants are a little tighter.
Yeah.
For me, it's my underwear.
Yeah.
We're starting to get too tight. And I'm like, oh no, like what is happening? You know, but then it's like, okay, the jeans I bought in the fall are now tough to button, you know?
It's like it doesn't creep up on you, but in a way, so you're just like, oh, these jeans are a little too tight. That's okay. And then you go to those one pair of jeans that you have that are a little bit looser, and then all of a sudden, those ones are getting kind of tight, and you're like, oh,
and then you go back to the other pair, and you can't zip them, and you're like,
what? And you're like, and then you're starting from here, where it was like, oh, I just need to lose 10 pounds, and then I'll be able to fit back in these. Well, now you're all the way up here.
Right.
Now you have to lose 10 pounds just to get back in the fat jeans.
Yes. That's exactly what's been happening.
Yeah, and then you're just discouraged because it's like, okay, well now I've gone all the way up here.
Yes.
When I could have just
exactly where I'm at right now.
Back when I was at my skinny jeans were tight.
When I moved to New York, I was about 10 pounds heavier than what I like to be when I am like feeling my best. Okay. And so I was like, okay, 10 pounds. I can do that. That's no problem. And then it's just slowly gotten more and more and more. And now it's 30 pounds. You know what I mean?
I do not feel like you've gained 20 pounds since you've been here.
I promise you. I can show you the picture. I have a picture of the scale from when I was staying at my friend Emily's house in January of last year. And then I can get on the scale and show you there is a 20-pound difference between then and now.
I don't know where you've gained. And this is not me trying to like suck up to you or be nice to you because I truly have not noticed that you've gained any weight.
I will say this, I do gain weight pretty evenly. Where like my boobs, my belly, and my legs will all get bigger. So it's not like when I gain weight, it's all in my stomach or it's all in my ass. It's nothing like that.
You don't gain weight in your face.
You know what happens? My eyes look like they're closer together. That's really the only thing. Is that when I look at pictures, my face looks smaller. Like my features,
like your face is
like
together.
Like my features are condensed. It's what it looks like.
Like the back of your head gets bigger somehow.
Yeah, just like around it. So I was having a little mental breakdown, and I was like, okay, well, I'm going to, and I realized it because thank you to 12-step meetings and therapy to be like, okay, so I am eating for comfort. I'm eating very late at night, and it's because I quit gambling almost exactly 3 months ago. And I'm like, so what have I been doing to mitigate these emotions? And I've been eating. And I'm like, I'm so freaking tired of replacing one addiction with the other, right? Yeah. I'm not going to say I'm addicted to food. It's nothing like that. It's not like I'm going insane, but noticing the same patterns that I had with drinking and then gambling and now food. So I signed up for a boot camp gym. Yeah. A boot camp class. Yes. Which is like 45 minutes to an hour of a man screaming at you.
I love a boot camp.
I like it.
Yeah.
I've done classes like this before. I did CrossFit way back when it first like came out. Mm-hmm. And I've always liked it. I do better when there's other people around because I feel embarrassed not pushing myself if there's
Yeah.
other people around.
Yeah.
So I've always loved a group class. The original group class is Zumba.
Oh, yeah.
I loved Zumba.
I love a group class. I that's why I have such a hard time working out at home, because I need the validation of somebody else seeing me do a good job. Like,
or even just like, for me, it's more about embarrassment than validation, where it's like, I know I am not going to push myself hard if no one's watching. And if I go there and I'm clearly the most out of shape person, I don't even mean the biggest. Like, if I'm the only one who has to stop during the warm up to catch my breath, that embarrasses me and it makes me want to work harder.
Okay.
Whereas if I'm at home or if I'm at the gym by myself, I'll be like, you're just getting back into it.
Yeah.
No, just stay at the 3 mile per hour.
Yours is out of embarrassment and mine
Yeah.
is out of pure competitiveness. I'm like, I have to be the best one here. And sometimes, like when I did those berries classes, it'd be some pregnant chick next to me outrunning me. Do you know how hard that is to see?
Dude, I like yoga, and there would be old women, 70-year-olds, that I'm like,
in a handstand.
How? Yeah. How are you doing? My shoulders are on fire right now. How are you twice my age and kicking my ass at yoga?
That's Pilates a lot of times too. It'll be like an older woman and you're watching them and you're like, what the hell?
Right.
Like, why are you better at this than me?
Right.
Yeah.
So
but it's practice. It's whatever you're practicing, you're going to get good at.
I signed up for this class and I got a bargain.
Yeah.
I did a little haggling on the price. Oh, it's still way too expensive.
You called them up and haggled them?
I texted. They text you.
Oh, okay.
So I was texting with them.
So
and
much
did a little
easier.
haggling. Still 4 times what it should cost. But
those boot camps are always so expensive.
They're so expensive, but they work. And
they do.
I mean, it is 45 minutes to an hour of straight cardio mixed with, this one has weights. So it's dumbbells or kettlebells or whatever. So I've gone to that twice. I really, really like it. I think it's going to work. And my goal is to lose 30 pounds by the end of the year. So it's April. That's 8 months. Well, I guess it's kind of May. So really 7 months.
So are you separating this by like every 3 months you hope you're down by 10 or?
I don't know. I don't care how it happens. I want to lose and keep off 30 pounds by the end of the year.
Yeah.
That's my goal. And so I was like, if I can go to classes at least 3 times a week, work my way up to 5, then I think as long as I keep my diet in order, I should be fine. I feel like I could have that by the end of summer.
Can I give you one thing that helped me?
Sure.
I stopped saying I want to lose this much weight, and I say I want to go to the gym this many times. I want to make sure that my calorie intake is this for this many days, instead of like focusing so much on like each day how much weight I'm losing, because then it's more like, okay, I'm focused on like what day do I need to go to the gym to make sure I'm going 5 days a week.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Instead of like looking at the scale trying to figure that out, it's like I'm so focused on what days I'm going and what I'm eating to make sure I hit this certain amount of protein.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to the gym, that like I'm not even thinking about the weight anymore. And then that was the first time I ever truly like just weight started shredding off of me.
Yeah.
When I was focused on how many days I was going.
Yeah, I get that.
Instead of...
And I know a lot of people say that, here's the thing about online. You're going to see
There's a million different...
100 different things to do. Weigh yourself every day. Don't ever weigh yourself. Take progress pictures. I know you should absolutely always take progress pictures, but only take progress pictures. Weigh yourself once a week.
Yeah.
Only, you know what I mean? Like,
you don't need to eat protein. You do need to
don't
eat
eat any protein ever.
Yeah.
Only drink water. Don't drink any water.
Fast.
Like,
Fasting's horrible for you. And you know what? Half of them
juice
are
cleanse.
getting,
It's
half
all
of them
terrible.
are getting paid by whatever they're promoting anyway. So just do whatever works for you.
And the thing that I think is discouraging to people is it takes a while to figure out what works for you. So if you're someone who does have 30, 50, 75 pounds to lose, you're like, I feel bad now. And I want someone to tell me how to not feel bad now.
Yeah.
And that thing that really sucks is that it's like, well, I can't tell you how not to feel bad.
Yeah.
I can tell you, hey, here's what's worked for me.
Yeah.
But you're going to have to figure out what works for you, because like when you get a cookie cutter kind of approach to it, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
And I'm pissed. I'm 35. The first time I lost 30 pounds after I quit drinking. And I was 29. And it came off in like 3.5 months. But because I was drinking so many calories, right?
Yeah.
And now I'm like, it is so much harder to get motivated. Even at 35 versus 29, it is so much harder to get motivated. I feel like I'm way more tired now. And I don't have an immediate thing to cut out like that.
Right.
Where it's like, I knew booze had to go. But now it's like, now I really do have to track every single thing that I'm eating to pay attention to where am I getting too much? Where am I? And I know for me, it's late night. I know that. Where I'll have a full meal at 1 a.m. because I'm like, yeah, it would be awesome if I could eat my last meal at 7 p.m.
But that's just not the way
It's
your
just
schedule is
can't
ever
happen.
going to be. Yeah.
If I have a set at 12:45, I'm off stage at 1.
Yeah.
And I ate at 7, I'm freaking hungry, dude.
Yeah.
You know? So that's what happened to me.
I'm sorry that.
Why are you sorry? I did it.
No,
Gaining weight.
I'm not sorry that you gained weight. I'm sorry that I left you here alone to sulk in it.
No, you're not.
Okay.
No, you're not.
I'll never
You were out
apologize
having
ever
fun
again for anything.
with your Trump nephew. You guys were having a great time making fun of fat people. I don't want to hear it. No, it's fine. Gaining weight.
I promise you there was nobody in my family making fun of fat people. I can guarantee that, especially my Trump nephew.
I have a whole bit about how the process of gaining weight rocks.
Yeah.
Because it does. When you just eat whatever you want and you don't care. And it's just like, yeah, man, I'm going to eat this because I feel like it. I eat a lot of chocolate. I love chocolate. I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. And when you get to a point where you're like, yeah, screw it, dude. I'm eating 2 chocolate bars today.
Yeah.
And it tastes good and it feels good in the moment. It's like a hug from the inside when you're so full. And you just lay there and you're like, oh my God, this is beautiful. And then you wake up 6 months later and you're like, I can't walk. I can't walk.
Oh, yeah.
My knees hurt. I can't take the stairs anymore. My ass is on fire.
You know when it like happens the most is it's like right after you lose weight. Cause like then you're like, oh well, let me just try this chocolate bar that I haven't had in a while. Then you're like, okay, well I didn't gain any weight.
Yeah.
I ate chocolate for 2 weeks. I didn't gain any weight. Yeah. And then you keep eating. I mean, I feel like I've been on a slippery slope. I got banana bread pudding today on my walk home. Here.
There's no banana bread. And bread pudding are 2 different things.
Banana pudding, or what's it called?
What does it look like?
It has like the vanilla wafers in it.
That's banana pudding.
Banana pudding.
There's banana bread.
Yeah.
Which is a loaf.
Yeah. No,
then there's bread pudding, which is a dessert that has like caramel and like ice cream and whipped cream.
It's just banana pudding.
And then there's banana pudding that has the wafers and
banana
stuff.
Banana pudding. It's from Magnolia Bakery. It is like the best banana pudding in the world, though. But I got it, and I was like,
Yeah, but you work out a lot, so I feel like one dessert.
But I haven't been, like, since I've been traveling so much.
Yeah. And
it's always when you're not working out that you're like, fuck it.
Well, because there's nothing to keep you accountable.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm not.
That's the other thing about going into a class. Again, we've talked a lot about feeling embarrassed because that's a huge trigger for you. I don't feel embarrassed a lot, except that. Well, like, if I were to keep going to classes and continue to gain weight, I'd be like, this is, I don't want to go to, I would probably stop me from going to class, to be 100% honest.
Yeah.
But it being there, knowing I have to go show up and see these same people week after week or day after day, helps me be like, okay, I'm going to see Sara today.
Yeah.
And she's going to look good. So I have to at least try.
No, I see what you're saying. When I feel like when I first started losing weight, I was going to this like gym in Indianapolis where like everyone had tripods set up. Everyone was filming themselves. And I remember walking in and I was like, I don't belong here.
Yeah.
But by the time I leave here, I will.
Yeah.
Like I will look like I'm supposed to be here with my fucking tripod too.
Yeah.
So being around people where it was like, I was embarrassed to be in there.
Yeah.
Because I didn't feel like I belonged. And I was like,
well,
watch this.
When I say this warm up is killing me.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, my cardio is so low.
Yeah.
My cardio is so low. But like, I'm okay when we have to do some of the lifting stuff. Like, I'm decently strong, but my endurance is trash. And that's what I want to, I mean, yes, I said I wanted to lose the 30 pounds, but I think that'll be another non-scale victory, as they say, is like when I can make it through the warm up without stopping.
Yeah.
You know, or when I can do X, Y, or Z and not feel like I'm going to throw up, you know?
Yeah.
So that's it.
Okay.
A little catch-up session. I'm going to lose weight. You have a Republican nephew.
Yeah.
Who's homeschooled. That's it.
If you guys need your lawns mowed,
hit him up.
If you're anywhere in the Midwest, he'll travel. He's going to start driving probably next year.
He's got it. My name is Mary Santora Comedy on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. You can follow us at Special Friends Podcast. Special Friends Podcast. Sara?
At Sara Pop Tarts.
And we'll see you guys next week.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.